Well, hello everyone, my name is Nick, and today we're going to be doing some more online plant shopping. So today we're going to be shopping on Logees.com, which is a great place to shop for houseplants. I'm not being paid to say that. This is a video I'm doing for fun, completely out of pocket. I bought a couple of Hoyas from Logees a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed the selection and quality that they had, and I have no idea why I haven't made a purchase from them since. So I figured, no better time to buy houseplants than in the dead middle of winter. So let's just have some fun today. I figured maybe we can round up at least 2 or 3 houseplants, and then at the end of this video, I will unbox the plants when they come in the mail. So let's just go ahead and get started on their website. You can see here they have a bunch of different categories. If I scroll down, you can even see a couple popular houseplants right here, like the Hoya kerrii variegated and Piper ornatum, one of my favorite houseplants. Although I will say I repotted mine recently, and I probably shouldn't have. Lost a couple leaves. So let's go ahead and just look through the indoor section at first. I'm just gonna click on indoor houseplants. Is that a good idea? I feel like that's a good idea. Okay, so right off the bat, you're gonna see the interesting nature of some of these houseplants already that they have in stock. They have a really good selection, and it's very particular. Like, it's not like a wide selection on some of the other houseplant stores that I've done shopping in the past, where it's like they have perhaps too much. This is a very reined-in selection, but it's very well curated. And not all of it is going to be in stock, of course, because that's how things go in the houseplant community. But honestly, I feel like on Logees, most of the stuff is usually in stock, for at least what I'm used to. Let's put it that way. So right off the bat, you can see we're in the A section, so there's alocasias. Also, this Adrimiscus is pretty funky. I'm just gonna click on that because that is like a work of art. Isn't that really funky? Like, wow, that's so funky. I don't think I'm really looking for any succulents today, but that is really something. They also have a lot of alocasias, you can see, and they're a pretty good price. I'm not really an alocasia person myself. I just haven't had the best luck with them, but you know, I know that the Reginula Black Velvet is pretty popular, and you know, 4-inch pot for $24.95. Is it going to look this big? No, but that's what it could look like in a year's time if you grow it correctly. I mean, they could be that big. I don't think they are though. Also, the Alocasia Maharani is a really cool one. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that at houseplant stores. It's not so much the look for me as it is the leaves, the way they feel. They feel like a reptile skin. It's pretty crazy. I don't know if it says anything about that in the description. Are stiff to the touch and appear almost prehistoric. There we go. So a really great houseplant. That's an alocasia I would totally consider growing myself. I'm not going to purchase it today because I wouldn't dare buy an alocasia in the dead middle of winter. We'll be a little bit mindful of what I purchase with that keeping in mind, but yeah. Also, they have the Frydek, which is a popular one, currently back ordered, but you can place your order to receive it when it's available, which is very nice of them. Euphorbia obesa, that's a cool one. That's a really interesting little succulent cacti deal. It's a succulent, I'm pretty sure, but it looks a lot like a cactus, but that's pretty interesting. Oh my god, I'm so sorry about this. Let me pull out my mouse pad. All right, nipping that problem in the bud. You're probably still gonna hear a little bit of it. I apologize. Begonias. I've been getting really into begonias lately, you guys. Actually, that's kind of a harsh statement. I'm getting into begonias. I'm enjoying the ones that I have in my collection. I'm not looking to add any more right now because sometimes they can be a little stressful, but let's see. Calathea majestica, that's a cool one. I remember when that first hit the market, it was expensive, but now it's dropped down to a decent price. $24.95 is way more acceptable. I'm sure you can find it even cheaper than that too if you're lucky. I feel like they were one of the first places to carry Pilea peperomioides, and I feel like back then they had like 2-inch pots, and they were like maybe $50 at the cheapest, which was a good deal back then. I will give Logees credit for that. Absolutely. Stephanias, I know those are popular as climbing onion. That's a really cool one too. Obviously it's not available, but I feel like that's a pretty underrated houseplant. Okay, where were we? Stephania. Okay, coinleaf peperomia, polybatria, coral cactus. That's a fun ripsalis. It's a really fun ripsalis. I've tried growing that before, and I've seen that back when I worked at the store. That's a really fun Ripsalis. Asplenium antiquum, obviously it's just a bird's nest fern, but just a bird's nest fern. You guys, ferns. Me and ferns are having a moment this year. I am letting you know that I am trying to make some room for some ferns. Oh, they have little tiny pots of Drimonia. I like actually, oh, I'm totally gonna add this to the cart. So I have one already that's just not doing so hot, but it was like a pretty reliable houseplant to get started. I think that I made a mistake, and I really love the foliage on this houseplant. It's a Gesneriad, which is really cool. So it's like very closely related to African violets, apicias, lipstick plants, if you're familiar with any of those houseplants. But this is just totally in a category of its own. I've never seen it bloom. Here's a picture of the blooms. But like, you can't tell me that these leaves aren't just something else. Maybe they're not as wild as some of the houseplants that people go crazy for, but I am getting a Drimonia, hey. Let's see, ginger, fiddly fig. They got some Cebu blues. It's a little pricey compared to a lot of the other houseplants that they have. Typically their prices are very on par, but that's definitely a little high in my opinion. Ficus Audrey for $14.95 on sale. It's lovely. Clivias, these are like one of the most popular houseplants from way before this houseplant boom, obviously. I feel like if anybody was into houseplants in like the 90s, or I don't know exactly when was the whole boom, but they are popular houseplants. If you go to like any like botanical garden, I'm sure they're gonna have quite the collection of clivias. Quite the collection of clivias, that is a phrase. Golden oxalis, that's a really fun houseplant. I used to get in a bunch of different kinds of like these funky little oxalis, which, you know, they are really in the truest sense just clovers, but they really do have such a wonderful vibe. I personally do not grow any in my home. I actually haven't tried in a long time. I got like a really nice oxalis a couple years ago, but my roommate's cat just mowed that thing down. I know pets aren't supposed to eat them. They're not pet friendly, but wow, he mowed that thing down, and so I just never bothered with them again, but they really do have kind of my vibe. They have, oh, I should look up the Hoya selection at some point. I guess they have a couple right here. Hoya Hindu Rope. Iris Marie is one of my favorite Hoyas. Only $19.95, currently back ordered, but I'm not getting one right now because I have a very full pot. Hi, Dudesy. Muffin's coming in, and if I don't pick her up right now, she's gonna jump on the keyboard and accidentally order something, so she's just coming to say hello real quick. Why don't you sit back here? Okay. I'm so sorry, sweet pea. I know how much you want attention right now. Okay. So they have a bunch of Hoya right here, actually. I mean, it doesn't seem like any of them are in stock. So they have the Carnosa crispa, the Hindu Rope, Iris Marie, Royal Hawaiian Purple Puba Calyx. I already have all of those. And then the couple that they have down here, I don't have. Oh, I do have the Mathai, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll look up at the Hoyas later and we'll see what they have to offer, because how can I not? Also, they have the black lipstick plant, the Black Pagoda lipstick plant. That's a pretty cool one. The flowers are pretty cool. Mine has been flowering recently that I have up on my wall. Pretty easy houseplant, for the most part. Lycopodium. It's pretty wild. I'm sure you don't. Oh, you get this little bit for $49.95. I was like, that's a lot of Lycopodium for $49.95. That's a pretty popular houseplant in probably a small group of collectors. It's like an epiphytic. What is it called? A club moss? Is that what it says? I know it's, or the tassel fern. It's a pretty cool houseplant. Obviously it's not in stock, but I personally wouldn't be spending $50 on that. It is really cool though. Not trying to downplay it. You guys know I love houseplants. But that is a cool selection to have in stock, absolutely. Okay, so Monolena. So I haven't heard of these before, but I went to Terrain, if you guys are familiar with them. It's like a houseplant store. It's owned by Urban Outfitters, and they have a really nice selection. I actually really like to check them out particularly because it's one of the only places in this area that purchases from the broker that I used to purchase from when I worked at the houseplant store. So I like to go and see what she currently has available, because obviously I'm not buying from her anymore. Maybe one day, but I saw that she had monolinas in her selection at Terrain, and they did not look this full. I'm not imagining that these would look this full, but this is a really interesting houseplant. This rare plant is a tropical epiphyte with large green leaves and unusual red and dark green highlights. I'm a sucker for that, baby. In summer, red flower spikes emerge with pink begonia-like flowers. I am listening. As the plant matures, it forms a caudex at the base. Took 3 sentences. The ones that they had at Terrain were like wimpy, and they were like $35, which Terrain's not cheap by any means. I kind of want to try this though. If you're asking me through the screen, where are you going to put these, Nick? I'll make room on my shelf. We just cleaned it up recently. We'll make room. And I have a plant that's going out pretty soon, so we'll just give it the old boot. Easter cactus, if you guys are familiar with that, that's like similar to Christmas cactus, but it's got rounder leaves, flowers in the same way. Pretty cool. Orange lipstick plant. I've tried growing this one time. I didn't do it successfully, but lipstick plants are really cool, especially in these like full hanging specimens, as you can see in this photo right here. Pretty neat. My favorite house plant, Philodendron Birkin. That's sarcasm if you're unaware. But yeah, they're going to have a decent selection of philodendrons. We'll also have to look up specific categories of plants just to see if they don't have anything included right here on the indoor plant page, but we'll definitely look at philodendrons a little later on. It says that they have the philodendron silver stripe. I know that's a popular one. See, it gets barely a silver stripe. It's just an expensive Brazil, and it only goes up from there. That's a pretty good deal for a silver stripe. I'm sure you could find a fuller pot for a same price, I'm sure, but you get what I'm saying. Also, they have Brantianum, if that one's still as popular as it was before. Primalina tabacum. That's pretty interesting. Primalina is a Gesneriad, but I've never heard of this one. Tobacco scent. Do we want that? Like, I like tobacco candles, but like, I don't want my home to smell like a cigarette. Calatheas. We saw the one earlier. Would not consider ordering a Calathea in the wintertime. Oh look, they have Monstera sultipacana. Believe it or not, I actually do not grow this in my home currently. I've tried growing this on plenty of occasions. I can't do it. I gave one away to one of my friends who still has it, because I feel like sometimes I'm struggling with houseplants so much and I give them away to my friends who like don't know anything about houseplants and they just thrive. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. A string of watermelons. It's pretty funky. I feel like this needs probably sun stress to really hold on to this watermelon appearance. It's pretty cool though. It's a pretty good deal. Granted, I don't know how full of a 2.5-inch pot that you're getting, but I trust Logees. You're definitely not just getting a strand like from some other places. Staghorn fern, spoonleaf sundew. That's cool. This is a realm of houseplants that I think is a little beyond my time at this point. I think maybe 29 or 30-year-old Nick will be loving some sundews, but not 27-year-old Nick. That's for later in life. Monstera adansonii, and they even have a couple different versions, it looks like. They have like this wider leaf version and then this more narrow leaf version that has a little bit less splits in the leaves. Roelia macoiana. This is a really great houseplant. Definitely an underrated houseplant for certain. And the flowers are beautiful, and it flowers often. Like when I grow this plant in my home, it flowers like every month or so, which is exciting. I've never had it look like this. Granted, I've never had a plant this full, but it's a pretty neat houseplant. Syngonium albo, I know that's a popular one. Of course, it's not available right now. Also, variegated strawberry begonia. I don't know if that's like a thing in right now, but I remember one of my growers back when I was in the industry, was like dying to get his hands on this houseplant to start growing it out. So maybe it's a popular plant to come. I don't know, but not doing it for me. It's a strawberry begonia. Those are so easy to kill. I'm not not willing. Speaking of easy plants to kill, mingarelias as well, but they are such a vibe. They do totally look like parsley. Like people used to think that they were parsley when I worked at the store, but I wouldn't eat that myself, honey. Wax ivy, love me some wax ivy. Peperomia argyria, love me some of that. Philodendron micans, a little pricey for micans. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what micans typically goes for in this climate today. Okay, so we looked through all these. Let's go back and we're gonna look through the Hoyas, like I had mentioned. So we're just gonna go in the search bar, type Hoya, hope for the best. So they have more Hoya pubicalyx. They definitely have more listed because they have the Hoya croniana, Hoya coniana as they have it listed. Hoya kamingiana, I have that one. Hey Dootsie! My cat's name is Muffin, but I call her Dootsie quite often. Her most common nickname. And she's so sweet. But she can't come up here today because she's literally gonna jump on my keyboard and she's gonna accidentally order something. Hoya numelarioides, Hoya curtisii, Hoya D's big one, Hoya skinneriana. I don't think I'm familiar with this one. And I don't think I'm going to be getting more familiar with it from the look of this photo. That looks just like a Hoya pubicalyx. Hoya caudata, that's a cool one. It's not available though. Hoya affinis, Hoya mindorensis. This is all gibberish to me at this point. I do like a good showy red wax plant. That would be a cool one. That gives me like Hoya obscura vibes. Easy to bloom, red vivid flowers, white hairs, accentuate the blooms. Flowers of light fragrance. I don't know if I'm getting sold on this. We'll consider it. We'll consider it. The Hoya affinis seems more cool. This looks more like a Hoya like multiflora or a Hoya croniana. I'm sorry, not a croniana, coronaria. Some of those more interesting upright Hoyas, but why not? We don't have to buy it. We might not buy it. But that was all the Hoyas. So let's type in philodendron. Let's take a peek. Okay, so they definitely have some that are definitely going to be more popular on the market. They have Philodendron verrucosum, $120. I'm sure you get it says 4-inch pot. I'm sure you get a decent plant. Philodendron soderoi or soderoi, I don't know how to pronounce it, but damn. I remember like a couple years ago when I got my Philodendron gloriosum, there were soderoi, I don't know, available for like $20, which makes me a lot less enticed to consider purchasing one for like $100 because that is a philodendron that I would like to grow. Granted, I'm not like a sucker for rare aeroids by any means. I like to get my hands on a couple aeroids every now and again because climbing aeroids are pretty showy, and my gloriosum as well is quite the showstopper, but this is not for science. Black gold philodendron melanochrysum, that's also a pretty popular one. So, oh my god, like this is gorgeous. You're not watching me consider this. Like, look at those leaves, though. Talking myself out of it. We're not doing it. Let's type in peperomia. Not that many to choose from. I don't know. What's a cat? New plants. What do you guys want? Oh, this is peperomia still. Let's go. Let's click on rare. Rare. Sounds like something you guys would like. Rare plants, rare foliage plants. Obviously, you guys are going to want me to click on the one with the anthurium first, so I'm going to click on that. Anthurium magnificum for $99. You too can have this. People are pretty wild about these anthuriums. I've never tried growing one ever before. Like, should I? I don't think so. Especially not in the wintertime. But it is a really showy plant. They had some of these at Terrain when I was there, checking out the scene, and they did not look like this. They actually looked a lot more like this. And they are really gorgeous. I will give them that. And the red backsides. No, I'm not spending $99 today. Oh, this is cool. Australian bottle tree. I have no idea what it is. But look at these leaves. Oh my God. That's what it is? Can you grow this as a houseplant? I mean, I'm assuming they have it like in a bonsai planter. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. But we're gonna move on. Oh, they have more begonias. Wow. That could be my happy medium between like an anthurium and a begonia. That is really something. Or it's like a schefflera, a fibrous species of begonias. I don't know what that means. That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Obviously, my plant would not look like that. A 2.5-inch pot would not come like that, but that's a really cool one. They have Begonia maculata too, if anybody is interested in that. Holy sh! 129? Dang. I'm going to baby the plant of mine that has like 4 leaves. I did not know this plant was so expensive. Christ on a cracker. Oh my God, I need to be doing a little bit more care with mine. God, okay. It's weird. I'm never getting that again if it dies. Oh my gosh. These are so cool. Biophytum sensitivums. I've never, oh my God. Will it even come alive? I don't even know how much shipping is from this place. But I'm already committing. I don't know if I'm gonna buy everything that I put in my cart, obviously. But we'll consider it. We'll assess. Oh my God. I had been wondering what this was. When I was in Florida, this plant was growing and it was pretty funky. Good to know. I'm not gonna get it because it doesn't seem like a houseplant or a plant that will grow well indoors, but cool to know. This is cool, rickrack. This is like the true rickety rackety with the little like sometimes they're a little bit more jagged and they're like the zigzag cactus. So good to see that they have options. Oh, and they come in different colors, I guess, or maybe it's just different sizes. Ceropegia, club moss. This is a cool plant. I used to put this in terrariums back at the store, but I've never tried growing it. But like putting them inside like enclosures, a vibe. I'm not gonna spend any money on that though when I feel like I could literally dig it up, which you shouldn't do, but I still feel like I could. I shouldn't be talking down club mosses like that, but I guess I'm just not sold on it. Oh, this ficus, I used to grow one of these. I killed it, but it's really cool. They have a really nice specimen at Longwood Gardens, which is a local botanical garden to Philadelphia. And it looks really nice. The thing that everybody wants. 5-inch pot. Granted, y'all know how I feel about that, but you can feel however you want. Let's click on new before we wrap this up because this is going on. How dare you haunt me? I'm like how can I be like a houseplant YouTuber and not have one of these overrated anthuriums? I feel like this is like all over all the other houseplant YouTubers' thumbnails all the time. And I'm not a nonconformist, I swear. I just don't like spending mass amounts of money on houseplants. Ugh. Finger limes. Have you seen those before? Those are cool. Like, we're not talking about fruit in today's video. As much as I love weird fruits, like I am a sucker for weird fruits and just like weird anything. Well, not too weird, but weird enough. These are like limes. Where do you see how they like? I'm like pointing on the screen as if you can see. In the picture right here where my mouse is, the like lime kernels, it looks like, are like out. It's like comes out like you scoop them out and I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just gonna stop. Look it up. Look up finger limes because I'm clearly not doing a good job of explaining. Oh my God. Also these, they've been having these there's a grocery store like right downstairs and they've been having these and I'm like, I want one just to have it. But like, this doesn't look like something that you eat. Like that does not look like something, I mean, not that you'd be like eating it, like you don't eat like a lemon or a lime, but like, I don't know how that would fit in my citrus press. So I'm gonna pass. However, it's very artistic. It's for the gram. Chinese violet, what's that? Cordata, milkweed family. Pretty cool. Looks pretty closely related to Hoyas, perhaps? Question mark? There's like Asclepiads or milkweeds. Am I making that up? Let me know in the comments. I'm so sorry. All right, we're gonna wrap up this video because clearly I'm starting to lose steam and I'm getting a little too witty for your liking. More oxalis. Honeyberries. Do you eat them? Honeysuckle. Blueberry like fruit. Easy to harvest. Tasty. Yes. I like weird fruit. That is something. In the honeysuckle family? Or blueberries in the honeysuckle family? I don't know. Mulberries. Noni fruit. Oh my God. Sorry. This is clearly, we gotta end this video. Have you guys ever had like, oh my God, I feel like I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. It was probably like early 2000s and my mom bought like that noni juice. It tastes like vomit. It literally tastes like vomit. Like if you say it tastes good, you're wrong. Oh my God. It was like the magic fruit juice. It literally tasted like drinking stomach bile. So. Noni fruit does not have my blessing. Pomegranates. Oh, my brother used to have a pomegranate plant. It was actually pretty cool. All right, I think we're wrapping it up though. Sugar apple. We're totally getting. Yesberry. Yasberries. We need to yassify our berries. So they made the yesberries. Oh my God. I want to eat all these fruits now. I need to leave the city apparently because I need to start a fruit farm with all these fruit plants from Logee's because I want my sugar apple farm. Okay, let's go to our cart. We're wrapping this up so that we can get to the unboxing when the time comes. So what do we have in our cart? Did I just click on the cart? No, I clicked on checkout. I'm so sorry. Let's click on the cart. You an edit cart. So right now we have Drymonium, Chirobogana, Monolena primuliflora, Hoya affinis, and a little tree plant, a Biophytum sensitivum, which is like $12. That's so cheap, which is probably gonna be like a baby. But oh, I want that thing. Like I want it. I want to put it in an enclosure on my shelf that I have right next to me here, so I can just look at it and enjoy it. And see, the only thing I don't think I need is the Hoya, but like it's been many moons since I've added a new Hoya to my collection. Let's estimate the shipping and tax. Okay, so after further assessing, I think I am just going to get these 3 because I really don't need the Hoya. I don't even know, like, oh my God. I'm like, ditch the Drymonia and just get the Hoya instead. But I want the Drymonia. I have enough Hoya. I have enough Hoya. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna purchase these houseplants. They will probably take about a week or two to come, and then I will film my unboxing and we will meet back up together. So I will see you then. Alrighty, we are back together for the unboxing. It did not take long at all to get here. I filmed the Shop With Me segment on Tuesday, and today is Friday, so it's only been a couple days. In fact, the box actually got here yesterday, Thursday, but I was feeling kind of lazy, so I'm sitting down today to do it. So it took not long at all to get here. I did upgrade to the 2-day shipping because that is what the website recommended specifically during the winter time for my area, so I took their recommendation, but let's go ahead and get inside this box. If you're still joining me here today, thank you so much. In retrospect, I feel like I did order some plants that I feel like the plant community probably doesn't give two craps about, but I care about them. So let's see, they have some styrofoam here on top. You can see it's like in a bag. I think this is their winter shipping method. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Okay, so they're inside this bag with the styrofoam. That's actually a pretty solid way to ship plants. I've never seen this before. Let me see if I can get you guys to see a little bit better. So the plants are all inside this like styrofoam box that was inside this bag, which is probably maybe has heat packs in it, but otherwise it's very well insulated. So I'm sure all the plants in here are totally fine regardless of it being freezing outside. So let's just go inside and fish one out. I barely remember what we ordered, but this already seems like it's pretty big. Well, yes, it is definitely quite large. So this is the Drymonia chiribogana. Wow, that is quite the specimen. I ordered one from Steve's Leaves recently, which I am a huge fan of Steve's Leaves, as many of you know. But this one's definitely a little bit larger than the one that I got from Steve's Leaves. They both were just one in the planter. Actually, no, I think the one from Steve's Leaves was 2 in the pot, and the same exact price as this one. I think this was $15. This one just has 1 in the pot instead, and it's just a little bit more grown out, so honestly both are a fantastic deal. But if you want your plant already grown out to a certain point, this is definitely a good option, as you can clearly see. So let's just not waste any time and finish up this unboxing. In fact, it's not even what this video— oh, hello, Sweet Pea! It's not even what this video is really about. It was about the shopping with me, but let's go ahead and fish out our next one. I only had 3, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I had a Hoya in my cart too, but the shipping would have been like at least $10 more, and then the Hoya was like $30. So just to save myself a little bit more money, and I was like, what do I not need right now? Another Hoya. So trying out some new things here. Oh, this is fun. So this is the Biophytum sensitivum, and this is a plant that's very similar behavior to the Mimosa pudica, or the sensitive plant, so it's not going to be looking its fullest right now because it's just been shipped in the mail and it's in its stressed out state where all the leaves are closed up. So if I get a chance, I will take some footage of this later on so you can see it after it settles into my space. But this will definitely take some setting into to look as perfect as it did in the photo, but as you can hopefully clearly see, it's very, very good condition. This is a houseplant that's definitely a little bit more finicky, going to require some more humidity. I will be putting this inside of a glass cloche. I would love to make a nice terrarium featuring this thing, but for now, I'm just going to keep it inside its plastic planter, cover it with a glass cloche to kind of recreate what it was receiving in Logee's greenhouse, and we're gonna take it from there. But it was really inexpensive, $10.95. That's a pretty good deal for a hard to find houseplant. And we have one more. This one's also looking quite girthy. So this is the Monolena. Alrighty, so there is a leaf that's a little broken, which is kind of a shame, but it's still a very healthy plant. But we will just snip that off. We still have these 2 leaves. It looks a lot healthier than the ones that I saw at Terrain, but it's definitely not as full as it looked in the photo. It was on sale, $5 off. It's typically $30, so this was $25 with the sale. But a really interesting plant. I love the back sides of the leaves. Kind of a shame that the leaves broken, but as long as this plant has a solid root system and we're going into the growing season, I should be getting some nice new growth off this guy. But I literally have no idea what this houseplant is. It just kind of got me in the photo and the fact that I saw it at Terrain. So it's totally a different variety than the one that I saw locally. So I'm excited to try this one out, but yeah, not much else to say. Oh, and it's really got that caudex forming, if we recall that we were reading about that in the, let me take the plastic off. So it's kind of got like an ant plant kind of similar caudexy base. It looks a little bit thorny too. I don't know if they're like sharp thorns or just kind of like leafy thorns. So maybe I'll be a little bit careful around this plant to start out, but really, really beautiful regardless of the leaf. I know that some people will probably be upset about that, but we're heading into springtime and it's got, clearly it's a healthy plant. So we will take it one step at a time. But thank you guys so much for joining me. It's the end of this unboxing, Logees.com. It was a lot of fun. Just to reiterate, I did pay for all of this out of my own pocket. None of this is sponsored by any means, but I'm excited to try out these new plants. They're all very different. Well, I guess I already grow this one, but I'm happy to have this nicer specimen because if you've seen any of my recent plant care video routine thingies that I've done, my Drimonia is not looking that great. So hopefully I can keep this one looking as good because it's stunning. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Philly Foliage, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day.